To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
When Walt Disney opened Disneyland in 1955, there were a few notable differences in how the park operated as compared to today. One major difference was that the park didn't offer the type of ticket we are accustomed to using on our current visits. Instead, guests purchased admission tickets at the main ticket booth and later purchased a separate admission inside for each individual attraction. A few months after opening, the park introduced value books, which would include several coupons labeled A to C. The attractions were then designated as A, B, or C attractions. The guests would either have to provide a specified ticket they had purchased from a nearby booth, or use the coupon book with the correct coupon attached. As designated by Disney, A-level attractions were the smallest or least popular of all the attractions. B-level were a little more popular and a little more advanced than the A-level, and C-level, as you may have already guessed, were reserved for the most exciting attractions. In 1956, Disney would introduce a D-level and upgrade some of their C-level attractions, such as Peter Pan's Flight and Jungle Cruise, to the new level. In June 1959, upon the completion of Disneyland's first major expansion, Disney introduced the E-ticket for the park's most popular and advanced attractions and made the new Matterhorn bobsleds, Disney monorail, and submarine voyage some of their first to be included in the new tier, along with some other popular attractions from the D level being upgraded as well. This system remained the same over the next 20 years and was eventually introduced to Disney World as well upon its opening in 1971. The coupons had a face value represented for each level. For example, an A ticket might have been valued at 20 cents, a B ticket at 25 cents, C ticket at 35 cents, D ticket at 70 cents, and an E ticket at $1.05. This essentially meant a rider could use any combination of coupons that met or exceeded the value of a specific attraction. So for example, if one was so inclined, they could overpay for an A ticket attraction by using a B ticket coupon. Also, a guest could combo an A, C, and D ticket together and gain admission to an E ticket ride. This ticketing style was eventually phased out with the introduction of unlimited tickets in the later half of the 1970s. Parks such as Magic Mountain had implemented the all-new, all-inclusive system upon its opening, and guests loved it. So in 1982, the coupon system had vanished entirely, replaced by the one we still use today. However, the term e-ticket still lives on strong in the Disney fandom, and is still used when referring to top-notch attractions. On December 6, 2012, Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom opened an expansion to the Fantasyland area, appropriately named New Fantasyland. This expansion would include several new attractions. The land would feature several rides, including Under the Sea, The Journey of the Little Mermaid, a clone from Disney's California Adventure, a dock ride that told the story of Disney's classic film from 1989, Enchanted Tales with Belle, an attraction that featured characters from Disney's Beauty and the Beast film, as well as a chance for the little ones to interact with Princess Belle, a new Beauty and the Beast restaurant called Be Our Guest, Gaston's Tavern, a place to grab a quick bite or a delicious LeFou brew, and Ariel's Grotto, a meet and greet with the Little Mermaid herself. While all of said attractions and restaurants were well received, the most anticipated attraction of the expansion would not be opening till much later on. On May 28, 2014, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train made its debut, and since then, it has had extremely long wait times and high FastPass demand. The ride itself is a mine train family-style coaster similar to that of Big Thunder Mountain over in Frontierland. It features a first-of-its-kind feature, as individual cars can sway on their own, side to side. The ride incorporates mild thrill elements as to be expected in any family-style coaster, as well as some impressive but brief dark ride elements. But despite the ride's overwhelming popularity, there have been many that have suggested the attraction is overrated and certainly not worth the wait. Common complaints are that the ride is too short and doesn't deliver nearly enough on the thrill or dark ride elements, and that the ride is really only popular because it's new. It just simply isn't an e-ticket caliber attraction. So the real question here is, what makes an attraction e-ticket caliber? And does the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train meet any of the criteria? To answer this, I think we need to take a look at some attractions that are widely considered to be long-standing e-ticket attractions. Let's take 4 established e-ticket attractions: Space Mountain, Expedition Everest, Flight of Passage, and Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. We'll rate these rides 1 to 10 in 4 categories: thrill, immersion, queue, and re-ride value. We will then come up with a range from my lowest scoring e-ticket attraction to my highest scoring and see where the Mine Train lands on my e-ticket scale. For the purposes of saving time, I have constructed a chart, and as you can see, the lowest scoring e-ticket, Space Mountain, comes in with a whopping 27 points, where the highest scoring e-ticket, Flight of Passage, comes in with a very solid 38 points. This gives us a little more perspective to see where the Mine Train will land in the grand scheme of things. And of course, this is just a matter of our opinion. First, let's take a look at the thrill element of the attraction. Of course, the Mine Train is a family ride, and we took this into consideration. However, even when we factor that in, we feel it falls a little short. The ride reaches top speeds of 34 miles per hour, but when compared to the thrills one can experience on Space Mountain, which only reaches 28 miles per hour, we think the ride leaves a lot to be desired. There was a lot of stock put into the idea that the mine cars could all sway individually. However, it seems to lend nothing extra to the ride, and is hardly even noticeable. When it comes to family-style rides, Slinky Dog Dash and Big Thunder Mountain do it much better, in providing excitement without too much intensity for the whole family. So, we're going to give the Mine Train a 5 on the thrill scale. Up next is immersion, and this is where I would just like to point out where I think the biggest flaw with this attraction is, and that it really doesn't know what it wants to be. It has the feel of a kiddie coaster, but also incorporates a very brief dark ride scene in the mine. While the animatronics are impressive, and of course the songs are classic, the whole feel of it still leaves a lot to be desired. The rock work and the overall look for the mine was done extremely well, but due to its placement in the park, it makes it very hard to get immersed, especially due to the visuals you get of the surrounding area. The Mine Train leaves a lot to be desired in the way of immersion, and for that, we're going to give it a very bleak 4. As far as queue is concerned, the Mine Train does a nice job implementing interactive features and definitely keeps guests busy while they are enduring what is usually a very long wait. The musical water drops and spinning barrels are definitely a cool feature and fun for the whole family. However, most of the queue is outdoors, which can make a long wait seem even a little longer in the hot Florida sun. But overall, they did a great job making the Mine Train's queue entertaining, and for that, we're going to go ahead and give it a very solid 8. Finally, we come to the re-ride value. One of the biggest disappointments this ride provides is how short the attraction is. With a very brief 3-minute ride time, the attraction hardly seems worth the 60 to 120 minute average wait the ride commonly gets. With fast passes difficult to come by, it hardly seems worth the time to wait for this attraction. With so many other rides worth waiting for at the Magic Kingdom, we are giving the re-ride value of this ride a very low 3. Adding up those scores, we have the Mine Train coming in at a very low 20 on our e-ticket scale, and consider it to be more of a C or D tier attraction, which is disappointing to say the least. This attraction was supposed to be the marquee attraction for New Fantasyland, which makes it that much more disappointing. While the wait times are always long and the ride seems to be popular, I have a feeling it's only due to the ride being the newest in the park. Also, the low capacity doesn't help either. While we here at Quick Diz Takes don't think this attraction warrants an e-ticket status, it certainly isn't a bad little family-style attraction. It does a lot of things well enough, and is certainly not the worst thing Disney has ever built by a long shot. It holds a nice place in the park, and visually fills out the Fantasyland landscape. So, in that regard, it certainly does fit. We just hope next time Disney sets out to build a marquee attraction, we get a little more Flight of Passage and a little less Mine Train. Do you agree with our take? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to check out the Quick Diz Takes podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. I'm Tim, and this was a Quick Diz Take.